What if I told you that the greatest mistake a man ever made wasn't something he did, but something he chose to ignore? He didn't steal. He didn't kill. He didn't commit any visible crime. In fact, he simply lived his life comfortably, peacefully, without worrying about anyone else. Asterisk, and yet he ended up in a place he never imagined. Now think about this for a moment. Asterisk, how did someone who had everything, asterisk, end up losing it all? Asterisk, and how did someone who had nothing, asterisk, end up gaining everything? Asterisk, there is a silent decision being made every single day, and most people don't even realize it. But after this story, you will never see it the same way again. In those days, when society was marked by a deep divide between the rich and the poor, there was a man known by everyone in the city. He didn't even need a name. His wealth spoke for him. He dressed in purple asterisk, a rare and expensive color, reserved for those with power asterisk, and in fine linen, a symbol of absolute luxury. Every single day was a celebration in his house. Every day was a feast. Every day was excess. But strangely, the more he had, the less he noticed what was right in front of him, because right at his gate, there was a man. His name was Lazarus. Unlike the rich man, Lazarus had no voice, no influence, no dignity in the eyes of society. His body was covered with sores. Asterisk. His hunger wasn't temporary. It was constant. He didn't dream of riches. Asterisk. He didn't desire palaces. He only longed for the crumbs that fell from the table of the man who lived in abundance. Asterisk. And the most shocking part wasn't Lazarus' poverty. It was his proximity. He was right there. Every single day. At the gate, there was no distance, no excuse, no ignorance. The rich man saw, but he didn't truly see. He passed by, but he didn't notice. He had everything he needed to change that situation, but he chose to do nothing. And maybe, without even realizing it, he was making a silent decision every single day. Asterisk, but how long could this go on? Asterisk, in that culture, the gate of a house was not just an entrance. It was a symbol. It was where decisions were made, asterisk, where encounters happened, where life passed by. And right there, at that very gate, two worlds met every single day. On one side, the rich man asterisk, surrounded by abundance, pleasure, and comfort. Asterisk. On the other side, Lazarus, surrounded by pain, hunger, and abandonment. And there was something even more striking in that scene. Dogs came to lick Lazarus' sores. In a society where dogs were considered unclean, asterisk, this wasn't just physical suffering. It was deep humiliation. He had been forgotten by men, but he was not invisible to God. Meanwhile, inside the house, asterisk, the sound was completely different. Laughter, glasses being filled, asterisk, fresh, bread coming out of the oven, asterisk, carefree, conversations. The rich man kept living as if the reality outside simply didn't exist. Asterisk, and here is the point many people miss. The problem wasn't the wealth, it was indifference. Asterisk, it was seeing and not acting. It was having the power and not caring. How many times did that man have the chance asterisk to change everything with a simple gesture? Asterisk, how many times could he have looked differently, but chose to keep living as if it had nothing to do with him? Asterisk, and then, asterisk without warning, asterisk without preparation. Everything changes, because there comes a moment in life when no amount of wealth can buy more time. Death came without announcement, without negotiation, without asking for permission. First, Lazarus, asterisk that man who was forgotten on earth, was not forgotten in heaven. The text reveals something powerful. Asterisk, he was carried by angels to Abraham's side. Asterisk, this wasn't just comfort. It was honor. It was rest. It was reward. The one who had nothing was now in a place of indescribable peace. But then, the rich man also dies, and everything he had accumulated was left behind. The fine clothes, the banquets, the house, asterisk the status. None of it went with him. And this is where the story takes a turn no one expects, because when he opened his eyes, he was no longer in comfort. He was in torment. Asterisk now for the first time. He sees clearly. He looks into the distance, and he recognizes him. Lazarus is there, at peace, resting. Comforted. And the man who never lacked anything now longs for just one thing: relief. He cries out. He begs. He pleads. Father Abraham, send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. One drop. Just one. Asterisk, but even that is not given to him. And the reason is as strong as it is painful. Remember that in your lifetime, asterisk, you received your good things. Now everything had been reversed. What once looked like advantage was revealed as loss. What once seemed insignificant became eternal. And then he realizes something even worse. There is no going back. Between him and Lazarus, there was a great chasm, uncrossable, irreversible. It was no longer a matter of choice. It was the consequence. And in that moment, something shifts inside him. For the first time, he thinks about others. He remembers his family. He knows they are living the same way he once lived. Distracted, careless, indifferent. Asterisk, and then he makes one last request. Asterisk, please, send someone to warn my brothers. Asterisk, so that they will not come to this place. But the answer reveals a deep truth. They have Moses and the prophets. Asterisk, let them listen to them. Asterisk, in other words, they already had the truth. The problem was never a lack of warning. Asterisk, it was a lack of attention. It was choice. It was indifference. And then comes the final statement. One that still echoes today. Asterisk, if they do not listen to the word. Not even someone rising from the dead will convince them. Asterisk, the story ends. But the message continues. It's not about being rich or poor. Asterisk, it's about the heart. It's about what you do with what you have. It's about seeing what is right in front of you before it's too late, because there are decisions asterisk that seem small today, but are eternal tomorrow. Thank you for watching until the end. Asterisk. See you in the next video.